Film scoring is all about complementing the action that you see on screen. Composing is a lot like acting. Think of yourself as an actor, reacting to the pain, the joy, and the exhilaration that comes from a moment on screen. What's tricky with film scoring is that sometimes it's not easy to figure out what needs to be scored. When do we provide music, and when do we keep out of the way of the actors? In today's video, we will be working with motors and talking about what a motor is. Perhaps it would be easier to demonstrate by playing you an example. This is an example of a motor. This is another one. Do you understand what I mean by complementing on-screen action? As of the date on today's video, there are definitely situations where motors should be used in a movie. Visible action on screen, any moment leading up to a character making a decision, anytime a character thinks, anytime you sense as a viewer feelings of tension or anxiety that are not externalized by speech, such as waiting, impatience, nervousness. If it would help you, rewind this video and listen to those examples again. What action do you think was depicted on screen at that moment that the music played? In film music, it's all about the layers and what you're layering. Just as we think of sound design as something one stacks vertically, you can think about music this way as well. Whether you are a classical instrumentalist, or a songwriter, or a rapper, you know that music has two vertical components, and those two components are melody and harmony. Putting in just a little bit of rhythm in your harmony will add motion to your scene, and this perceived motion is called a motor. Motors can be composed easily with a motif and some kind of rhythmic figure on bottom, and today's video is all about that rhythmic component. Any rhythmic figure that complements on-screen action. Motors can be simple, and simple motors can be boosted or enhanced by just adding something else simple underneath. Now, the motor that I just composed for this video is the simplest thing in the world. It is comprised of basically one note, but film music is not about impressing the listener with your knowledge of chords. Sometimes that's valuable, but generally you are just trying to complement on-screen action. When should we not use a motor? That's a hard question to answer. Typically, composers, like any artist, make a living off breaking the rules. But here are some situations where I would not put a motor. Underneath conversational speech in a scene that isn't a montage. When a character is sleeping. Or when the on-screen tension is quite low. Give yourself a writing assignment this week. Compose 3 different motors in contrasting styles. Play them for a friend and see if they can guess what imaginary scene you are trying to score.